Good morning. Welcome to Mayor's Weekly. We're pleased to be with you this morning, and I'm excited this morning to introduce to you Adam Bolton, who has just been appointed as a new building inspector for the city of Jasper. Billy Swan, who served in that capacity for, I'm not sure how many years. 18 years, and great guy. Billy had been talking about retirement. He and his wife purchased a home on the river, and I think that helped him in finalizing his decision, and certainly we wish Billy well. He did a great job for the city, and several things that excite me about Adam's appointment is we have over 200 employees in this city, and to see an opportunity for folks that are on board with us already to grow, it's what we should do, and that's the case with Adam. You worked for us how long?
17 years.
17 years. Adam has been responsible for the operation of our aquatics facilities, plumbing, electrical, and all the related things that happen there. Adam applied for this job, did well on the testing, and so pleased that we could have one of our staffers come on board in this new position. So Adam, we're glad to have you, and
thank you.
Hope that you find the work rewarding, and I think you will. Adam, what your appointment was probably right in the end of May. So if I ask you something that maybe you don't have the answer or don't feel bad about it, I understand that. But basics. The building inspector has a responsibility, residential and commercial. It's not just you think about a building inspector coming out checking your house. It runs the spectrum, does it not?
It does. You are correct. It runs the spectrum from commercial to residential. Anything that would be an upgrade to a house, anybody remodeling a business, that all falls under inspections.
And the broad spectrum of this, Adam, you think about somebody wants to add maybe a deck or a porch or something to their house on one end, all the way to building a manufacturing facility such as Eurozu. They have to have a building permit from the city and subject to your inspection.
That's correct.
That's right. So it's broad.
It's a lot broader than a narrow scope that some people look at it. It's designed to make sure that we're getting a good final product. It's designed to protect the homeowner and the business owner, and it's to give the people looking to move to Jasper the peace of mind that the buildings were built to code.
And Adam, one of the things that in my previous life and dealt with people in a lot of other areas outside of Jasper, and in some of those areas, the building inspector was an absolute nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And hammer on the head, couldn't find any common ground, that sort of thing. We put an emphasis on that not happening in Jasper, don't we?
That's correct.
Now, we don't trade the law for anything.
That's right.
But we want to try to help you.
We're there to help. We're there to show the proper way to do stuff and do it in a manner that protects the homeowner, and it also gives the contractor the ability to look at a law, read the law, and know what we expect.
Yeah. And we're not going to add to the law or take away from it.
That's right.
Now here it is.
Everybody will be treated the same.
That's right, and that's the way it should be. Adam, let's just person comes, gets a building permit, gonna build them a new house. Talk a little bit about that process, what they need to bring to get their building permit, and then how often they might see you in the building process.
The building permit is on our website. You can print that out, or you can pick it up at the front desk at the annex building. And that building permit gives us all the information that we need to get your permit going. Once we get the permit going and the fee is paid for the permit, we'll come in, and it's according to how, if it's a new residential, you'll see me more than likely 4 to 5 times, and that's at different points of the electrical and the plumbing, the gas, all of that, and the structural part of it. And at the end, we have to do a final walkthrough, check everything, and at that point is when you get a certificate of occupancy and you're able to go in the building.
And without that certificate of occupancy, there will be no electricity, will there?
No, sir. There will be no electricity, and most insurance companies will not cover you without that certificate.
They can get their builder's risk policy to get through it, but to go forward without the certificate of occupancy, power company is not going to hook you to electricity, and so that's just the way it is.
That's right.
Now, Adam, I get a report every month of the building permits that have been issued, and going back to the broad spectrum, I see permits issued. People will come here and get a permit for putting a new heat pump in, a new roof, all the way up to the major project. Is there on the bottom side, relative to the size of the project, is there a cutoff where don't worry about that sort of thing?
No, sir. Everything that's done needs to be permitted.
Okay. So if you want to repainting your kitchen walls is not. I mean, that would.
There's not a permit for that.
But you know, if you're going to redo your bathrooms or your kitchen,
anything structural, electrical, or plumbing that's going to be removed and replaced needs to be permitted.
Okay. Now, Adam, what if a person elects, well, I'm just not going to bother with that and continue on. I believe there are penalties for not getting a permit, is there not?
There are penalties for not getting a permit. The penalties can range from the low side of getting a permit, going ahead and obtaining the permit. Once the project's completed, though, you might have to tear out what you've done for us to go back and look and see if it was done correctly.
If you hadn't seen it, you certainly can't pass judgment on it.
Can't pass judgment on it if it's behind sheetrock.
Okay. Well, we know that there's a high likelihood you're going to see significant growth in Jasper in the next few years, and I know that means that you will be busier than busy, and and you talked about a homeowner could expect to see you 4 or 5 times. What initiates those inspections? The general contractor?
General contractor, when he gets to certain points, he knows that the rough end, we need an inspection at that point. Each individual has different points that they know when they need the inspection. They call me, and at that time I schedule the inspection, go out, take a look and pass it, or decide that they need to do more work to bring it up to code.
Okay. Now, the person that undertakes to build their own home, that responsibility is on those folks, is it not?
It is.
Now, and let's, going back to what you said, they're doing that, well, I didn't know I was supposed to call, and you just continue on. They may run afoul of the building inspector because you couldn't look at the wiring or the plumb.
That's correct. If it's hidden behind walls or under concrete, it can be a very expensive venture to tear that back out so that we can see what we need to see to pass the building.
Yeah. Now, if a person had questions, thinking about building a house, making an addition, should I have a permit, that sort of thing, what's their best source for information? Would that be calling the annex to try to reach you, or is there something online?
We have that happen every day, and the best thing to do is to call, because every situation's different. If they'll call me, I can inform them on what we need and what the law, if they need a permit or if they don't need a permit. I can walk them through it.
Now, had a situation, this is real, a person wanted to do something and skirt the building, purchasing a building permit, and they said, well, just let me pay the fine, which I'd be okay with. I pay the fine and go on. I said, you can't do that. There'd be penalties for doing that, I would imagine, as well.
That's correct.
If you said, I'll just pay the fine and drive around it, you probably get to pay the fine and not drive around it. Is that right?
That's correct. Either way, it's gonna have to be inspected.
Yeah. And so I said, Adam, what else could we tell the folks about the building process? Now, we only work within the boundaries of the Jasper city limits. Is that right?
That's correct.
So, and the fact that you're out on the western side of town and a less densely populated, that doesn't change a thing, does it?
No, sir, it doesn't. We treat everybody the same, and people need to look at it as a form of protection. And we're not here to hurt them, we're here to help them. Okay. And it'll get them a better final product if we inspect.
And one of the things that I see, you get out in the less densely populated areas, people have a little acreage, they build barns, pole barns. Is that subject?
Yes, it is. As long as it's in the city limit, any structure that's being built needs to have a building permit.
Right. Well, folks, we're glad to have Adam. He come to us well qualified, worked for the city for 17 years, so he doesn't have to find his way around. Known Adam for a long time, and a people person, and he'll do everything within his power to accommodate those that are building, remodeling, whatever, residential or commercial. And so don't hesitate to call Adam to learn. It's so much better to get it right on the front end, as you so correctly point out, because the corrective measures could be harsh.
Yes.
Right, good. Adam, so pleased to have you on board as our building inspector, and like I said, I hope it's work you enjoy. I hope you have a long tenure in that capacity, and our job here at the city is to serve the taxpayers of this city, and we can work toward that end every day. Thank you for being with us, and we'll look forward to being with you next week.